The rain started just after sunset. By nightfall, Willow Creek was quiet in the way only suburban neighborhoods could be. Porch lights glowing, curtains drawn, life continuing behind walls that looked ordinary from the outside. But nothing about this night was ordinary. Detective Rachel Monroe stood inside an unmarked surveillance van parked 2 streets away from Ethan Mercer's home. Officer Daniel Hayes watched the monitors beside her. Multiple camera feeds showed the same thing. Stillness. Rachel tapped the screen. He hasn't moved in 40 minutes. Daniel rubbed his neck. Maybe we're wrong. Rachel didn't respond immediately. She had learned not to trust comfort. Comfort was how people missed killers. And killers always relied on that. Stay focused, she said quietly. Inside his house, Ethan Mercer sat in complete darkness. No television. No phone. No sound. Only the ticking of a wall clock. Each second felt heavier than the last. Something outside was wrong. He had felt it all day. That pressure again. Like eyes behind him. Watching. Waiting. He checked the locks for the 4th time. Then the 5th. Then stopped himself. No, he whispered. He forced his hands away from the door. Control. He needed control. But control was slipping. Across the street, Emily Carter stood at her living room window. She hadn't slept properly in days. Not since she saw Ethan talking to no one. Not since the garage light incident. Not since the silence started feeling too intentional. Jacob walked in behind her. You're still watching his house? I'm not watching anything.
He sighed.
Emily. She finally turned. I feel like something is wrong. Jacob studied her. Or you're just anxious. A pause. Then she nodded slowly. Maybe. But she didn't believe it. Not anymore. At 9:42 p.m., Rachel's radio crackled. Movement at target location. Her posture stiffened. Where? Front door. Rachel leaned forward.
Camera feed shifted.
Ethan Mercer stepped outside. Slow. Careful. He looked around once.
Twice.
Then walked toward his garage. Rachel narrowed her eyes. He's leaving. Daniel adjusted the camera zoom. Or hiding something. Rachel's voice sharpened. Move units closer. But before anyone could respond, Ethan stopped. Completely. He turned his head. Slowly. Directly toward the street. Toward Emily Carter's house. Rachel felt something cold crawl through her chest. Does he see us? Daniel whispered. Rachel didn't answer. Because Ethan Mercer was no longer moving casually. He was standing still. Listening. Like he had sensed something that shouldn't exist. Then, he went back inside. Inside Ethan's home, silence exploded into panic. Not loud. Not chaotic.
Controlled panic.
He shut the door behind him. Locked it. Then locked it again. He walked fast to the basement. Too fast. His breath sharpened. No, he muttered.
No, no, no.
He opened the steel door. Entered the hidden room. Fluorescent lights flickered on. The boxes. The memories. The order. But something felt wrong. Different. He stepped closer. Checked each shelf. Everything was still there. Still intact. Still hidden.
So why?
Why did it feel like it had already been discovered? He placed both hands on the table. For the first time in years, Ethan Mercer felt something crack inside him. Not guilt. Not remorse. Panic. Outside, Rachel's voice cut through the radio. Surveillance units, maintain position. Daniel stared at the monitor. He's reacting. Rachel nodded. Yes. How does he know? She didn't answer immediately. Then quietly. Because he's been careful for 15 years. A pause. And careful people notice when something changes. Emily suddenly stepped outside her house. Jacob followed. What are you doing? I need to check something. Emily stopped. But she was already walking. Across the street. Toward Ethan's house. Daniel saw it instantly on the surveillance feed. Civilian approaching target house. Rachel's eyes widened. Stop her. But it was too late. Emily reached the front steps. Knocked once. Then twice. No answer. She looked back toward Jacob. I told you, she whispered. Something is wrong. Behind her, Ethan's garage door suddenly opened.
Slowly, silently.
Emily turned and froze. Ethan stood in the doorway, but not like before. Not calm, not friendly, not normal. His face was pale, eyes sharp, focused. He looked directly at her. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then he said quietly, "You shouldn't be here." Emily's breath caught. "I just wanted to check." A sudden voice cut through the night. "Police! Don't move." Lights flooded the street. Unmarked cars surged forward. Officers emerged, weapons drawn. Chaos erupted. Ethan turned, saw the vehicles, saw the officers, saw everything he had avoided for 15 years finally become real. For a moment,
He didn't move, didn't speak.
didn't breathe. Then he slowly raised his hands. Rachel stepped out of the lead vehicle.
Her voice was steady.
"Ethan Mercer. Hands where I can see them." Silence. Rain fell harder. Emily stood frozen between them. Jacob shouted for her to move. But she couldn't, because the man she had known for years, the man who fixed her car, grilled burgers, helped neighbors, was standing there like someone else entirely. Ethan's voice came softly. "You don't understand." Rachel responded immediately. "I understand enough." A beat. Then Ethan looked around. At the lights. At the officers. At the neighborhood. At Emily. And for the first time, something inside him shifted. Not rage. Not denial. Acceptance. Because perfection had finally collapsed. And there was no fixing it. He whispered, "I tried to be normal." Rachel stepped closer. "Drop to your knees." Ethan closed his eyes. A long silence. Then slowly, he knelt. The sound of rain filled everything.
En Kufs clica moments la té.
No resistance.
No struggle.
Just silence. Hours later, Willow Creek remained awake in shock. Neighbors stood behind curtains, watching, whispering, unable to process what had happened just steps from their homes. Emily sat on her couch, shaking. Jacob beside her. "You were right," he said quietly.
She didn't respond.
Because she wasn't thinking about being right. She was thinking about how close it had all been. How normal he had seemed. How easily evil had blended into everything familiar. At headquarters, Rachel stood alone in the interrogation room viewing window. Ethan Mercer sat inside.
Still calm.
Still controlled. Even now, Daniel approached. 8 confirmed victims. Rachel nodded. And more evidence coming. Silence. Then Daniel asked, "Why do they always look so normal?" Rachel didn't hesitate. "Because they have to." She looked through the glass. "And because we keep believing they do." Later that night, as rain finally began to fade, Rachel stepped outside. The city felt different. Quieter, heavier, but real. She looked at the sky. 15 years. 8 lives. One man hiding in plain sight. And a neighborhood that never suspected a thing. Her phone buzzed. A new case alert. She stared at it for a moment, then turned it off. Some cases ended, but the world didn't stop producing monsters. She walked to her car and drove forward into the next one. The end.